Well, welcome to Please Tell Me the Truth Ministries. As you guys know, we typically deal with apologetics and evangelism, but today we're super excited because we have a real professional apologist, Shane O'Neill. And Shane is actually getting his master's in Christian apologetics, and he's the editor-at-large for Proven Men Ministries, provenmen.org. And Shane, before we start delving into our topic, why don't you just give the audience a quick rundown of what Proven Men Ministries is all about?
Yeah, Proven Men is a sexual integrity organization. We go into churches and we help equip the leadership there just with resources to help combat. It's not an overstatement to say that we live in a sexualized age, a pornographic age. And so we just go in there to equip because families are getting rent apart and parents have no idea how to converse with their children about this topic, much less people who are single or married who battle with just how to be a Christian in this current culture. So that's what we do. We just go in to equip.
Great. And so let's talk about that battle you're discussing. Can you give us maybe some stats, help the audience understand, is sexual addictions, is pornography, is sexual sin an issue in our culture? What is your research with Proven Men shown?
Right. So when I say pornographic culture, it really isn't an overstatement. Pornhub, it's a massive pornographic kind of organization website. They release stats every single year on just how pornography has been growing within their own industry. And so theirs just came out, and they had in this past year 33 billion visits. So to break that down, it's equivalent to if Canada, Australia, all the population of Canada and Australia, if they were to come together and view pornography together, it would be those populations viewing pornography every single day for an entire year, and that's the equivalence of the margins there when it comes to pornographic use. So it is massive. It's massive. They released. So the Wright brothers, they took flight first in 1903, and if you started watching porn then to 2018, 2019, then there'd still be more pornography, right? So for the last they have over 115 years worth of pornography on their website alone.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So it's a massive issue. I mean,
it's wild.
That is wild. So now tell us about the church specifically. So how has pornography, how has sexual sin affected the church?
Yeah, it's ravishing us for sure. One thing that something like the Me Too movement challenges all of us on is that there's abuse, and we have to ask, why does that abuse exist? And there's like at church too, right? Like churches are being identified within this kind of deviancy. So 97%, we did stats. So Proven Men did stats with the Barna Group in 2014, paid a lot of money, and hundreds of people went through this. So it's a lot of different demographics. And 97% of men in the church have viewed pornography. Wow. 36% of men in marriages have slept with somebody other than their spouse. Something like 35% of men view pornography daily. Mm-hmm. So it's a cultural deviancy, but it's made its way into the church, and the church is definitely getting wrecked for this. So when it comes to the church being a resource, kind of bringing heaven to earth, it is a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Wow. Yeah, it's hard to be a witness for Christ if inside you're struggling with these huge sexual addictions. And in other videos we'll delve into how can we overcome pornography, these sexual addictions. What does the Bible have to say about who we are as sexual beings? But Shane, why don't you just give the audience kind of a quick overview of what Proven Men Ministries is doing right now to help combat these sins and addictions?
Yeah, so Proven Men there's a lot of it's called kind of parachurch organizations where like you can go to the church for one thing, but when it comes to missions organizations or other outreaches, they're parachurch organizations. And so you can go to the church for certain things and then go to these other organizations for other things. We don't conceive of ourselves that way. We're a para-partner organization where we go into the church to equip the church to be a light and a resource. Like Jesus says, let your light so shine before men that they might see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. And what does it look like to be salt and light? So we go into the church to equip the church to be all things to all people. And that really just starts with the church. When you can't say it's a cultural issue, it's a church issue as well. And it's been a huge part of my own story, right? Like that's something that Jesus had to meet me in to rescue me from. And if if people aren't experiencing that in the church, then the church is going to be able to be that kind of salt and light to the world around them. So that's just what Proven Men does. We go in and we help. We help the lost be found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So for more information, you guys should check out provenmen.org, and there you can find some of Shane's articles, their resources Proven Men's put together. But stay tuned for further videos, because we're going to be discussing how we can overcome sexual addictions. What does the Bible have to say about who we are as made in God's image and sexual beings? And also, we're going to put the stats Shane was talking about in the video notes, so be sure to check that out. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope this brought some awareness to the issues the world is facing and the church is facing, and we hope that it encourages and stimulates you to make a difference in the world for Jesus Christ and helping others overcome sexual sin.